The journey from poverty to self-reliance begins with a single step. For the world's poor, battered by storms, oppressed by war, plagued by famine, even a single step is often impossible without someone to lean on. At World Vision, we believe that only by working hand in hand with community members can we effectively tackle the devastating impact of poverty. By working with families and communities, World Vision is committed to achieving lasting and positive change in the lives of vulnerable children. Our goal is that those in need will experience life in all its fullness. For over 50 years, we've used our proven holistic approach of long-term social, physical, and spiritual transformation to serve poor communities all over the world. It's a combination that, over time, enables a community to free itself from hardship and need. Nowhere was that need more evident than in Ethiopia's Ansokya Valley. In the mid-1980s, Ansokya, a remote pocket of mountain-ringed land, became a refuge for over 60,000 desperate, starving people.
The first time we arrived there, we saw people on the ground, crying and screaming for food, for assistance. They were just looking for someone who can just lift them up, and feed them.
World Vision and the community often begin their walk together because of a crisis, as they did in Ansokya. Here, the most pressing need was physical.
We started feeding people. We were flying in airplanes, bringing food and saving lives and clothes and medical supplies because people were totally vulnerable to any kind of situation. They lost their natural resistance.
Too weak and hungry to make progress on their own, the people of Ansokya leaned on World Vision to help them take that first step towards transformation. By addressing people's urgent physical needs, we gained the trust of the community. By living out our faith, we helped set the stage for future development. Once their urgent relief needs were met, World Vision and the people of Ansokya were ready to take the next step in their journey toward transformation, solving their water crisis.
Ansokya Valley was called Valley of Dusty Bowl because the only thing you can see is the dust is blowing into the air, into the sky. It was totally dry.
In communities that lack access to clean water, the most vulnerable, like children, fall prey to diarrhea, parasites, and often death. Gaining access to clean water and improving sanitation can cut child death rates in half. In Ansokya, a river of cool, clean, liquid relief ran just below the surface.
Well, the problem in Ansokya was there was no rainfall, and that's what led to the famine and the drought. But our staff were able to find that there was plentiful water right underneath the ground in the aquifer, and we were able to tap into that.
World Vision often helps communities in their physical transformation by drilling wells and accessing clean water sources. But to be truly effective, clean water must be combined with health and hygiene. World Vision's health programs include prenatal care, children's vaccinations, nutritional training for health workers and parents, and HIV/AIDS awareness and counseling through our HOPE initiative. In Northern Africa, the Sahara Desert is creeping southward at a rate of 4 miles per year. In areas like this, secure, year-round sources of food are vital to keeping vulnerable families alive and healthy. Where the environment has been damaged by weather or misuse, World Vision works to provide natural, viable, and productive solutions. In Ansokya, the soil was rich, full of nutrients, and blowing away.
World Vision literally planted millions of seedlings in and around the Ansokya Valley. We used 42 different varieties of trees, and some of those provided fruit, some of them provided firewood, but more importantly, the root system stabilized the soil.
By providing seeds, tools, and training in agriculture and livestock management, World Vision helps communities to increase their production of meats, vegetables, and grains for healthy diets. Educating children and families is critical for the future of a community. When children are healthy and families secure, for instance, kids are free to return to school. World Vision helps both children and their parents learn to read. Working with community members, World Vision helps communities build their own schools and provide their own teachers. When hardworking families increase and better manage their household incomes, the entire community is strengthened. Microenterprise programs lend money to poor people with little but the skills and desire to start businesses of their own. Those loans are then repaid to a revolving fund, which lends them out again to other families. Small loans and business training will help sustain the group long after World Vision has moved on to serve another community. While physical needs are being met, social transformation is taking place as well. Beginning with the first handshake, World Vision becomes a community's partner on the road to self-reliance. Regardless of whether we enter a community because of a disaster or just an overwhelming need, our first priority is always establishing relationships and building trust. Community participation is at the heart of every World Vision program. Local leaders and groups are encouraged to rally people together to take part in early activities. A well drilling project, for example, is an excellent opportunity to mobilize a community. This high visibility, high impact project helps generate excitement and hope that can carry through to the work that follows.
We ask villagers, how can we help you?
Community members assess their own needs and priorities. They develop a plan of action and decide on a budget. World Vision encourages traditional leaders to involve women and youth in this process. The positive effects often carry over into the other parts of their lives as well. Once a community has decided where they want to go, they begin designing practical steps to take them there. These may include health, educational, or agricultural activities. World Vision works side by side with the community as they craft their own vision of the future.
As we work in a village, we are sensitive to the cultural activities of the people. We do not introduce any crops or techniques that the community is not willing to accept.
In Ansokia, villagers and agriculturalists initially differed on what crops to plant. A compromise revived the region's nutrient-depleted soil, while still satisfying the community's traditional diet and needs. The final step in a community's social transformation marks the first step in their quest for independent, self-sustaining progress. By helping to identify the problems and being involved in the solutions, community members become productive partners and move from poverty to abundance.
At the eventual analysis, the community will say, this is my project, this is my development program, I own this program from the start, from the very beginning, throughout the time.
Throughout the entire development process, a community gains confidence as they begin to see success. Woven into all our work is a quieter, though often more dramatic transformation, a spiritual transformation. Along with meeting their physical needs, the people of Ansokia desperately needed a healing of the spirit.
We need to be able to restore their whole being, because the first time they started, they totally forgot themselves. They lost their dignity. They lost their self-respect.
The spiritual transformation of those in need often begins by observing the quiet witness of our staff. In countries where it is illegal to share our faith, we let the excellence of our work speak for us. Our work prompts community members to ask why we help them. When it's appropriate, we speak about our faith in ways that are relevant to those who hear it. As living conditions improve, trust grows, faith increases, and the community sees God's answers to prayer. When a community thrives, faith can become a beacon to surrounding communities. Although every journey has its detours, every road its potholes, World Vision helps communities read the signs that lead to social, physical, and spiritual transformation. Because our commitment is long-term, we have ample time to demonstrate our awareness of God's love and His ability to transform lives.
World Vision brought so many things to Ansokia: agricultural development, education, building new schools, clean water for the children to drink, economic opportunity through microfinance, and more importantly, self-sufficiency. We have to remember that just a few years ago, this was a place of death, where each morning the children who died the day before were buried, and today it's a place of life.
Today, the Ansokia Valley is lush and productive, while other parts of Africa still reel from the effects of food shortages and droughts. It stands as a model of sustainable, transforming development to other communities. From desperation and despair to health, hope, and happiness, for Abdullah Usman, the dramatic change is nothing less than miraculous.
When I started talking about that, my tears started coming out. When I see people moving around so energetically, and the environment so green, like I said, Garden of Eden, it's a great joy in my life that the Lord is so faithful.
Joshua, you want to turn these over? Whoops.
Anyone who's spent time around children knows they can be a handful. Ouch. With 6 boys ranging from 14 to just turned 1,
Come here.
Jackie Carty has her hands very full.
Hey, Mom!
But to Jackie and her husband Tim, every child is a blessing, and they cherish these blessings even when they're upside down.
Well, you know, boys look at the world differently.
Or in the early throes of music lessons. Through love and patience, the Cartys see potential. They see it in their boys, and they see it in another little boy they've never met. A little boy who lives far away from their home in Tennessee. A little boy they cherish too. His name is Manuel. He's 10 years old and lives in Guatemala. Manuel is the sponsored child of the Carty family. The Cartys provide a monthly donation so Manuel, his family, and community have the resources they need to become healthy and secure. World Vision, a Christian humanitarian organization, is the bridge between the two families. For over 50 years, sponsorship through World Vision has brought hope to children around the world. Your sponsorship can give a child access to things such as nutritious food, clean water, education, health care, and the opportunity to experience God's love. In addition to helping one child, sponsorship gifts combined with those from other sponsors can help the child's entire community become more self-sufficient. For Manuel, sponsorship means he gets to go to school when he otherwise couldn't. He receives regular medical checkups and vitamins to stay healthy. Sponsorship money paid for a new, sturdy house for his family. A much-needed bridge was built in his community, and his mother is among those trained to grow trees that will eventually be planted to stabilize stream beds and protect the community's source of clean water. Manuel's mom appreciates that another family cares so much about hers.
I'm very glad and satisfied to know that another family is concerned for the health and the life and the well-being of my children.
The Cartys knew their commitment to sponsor Manuel would transform his life.
You'll put these in your drawer.
They didn't realize just how much it would transform theirs.
If anything, we've gained more.
Yeah, I think
we're gaining more than we're, than what we're sending. As a matter of fact, our oldest said 2 or 3 months ago, he said, "Mom, I can't wait until I get a job so I can sponsor my own child."
And it not only helps him, it helps his family and who are around him. So it's not like we're just sponsoring him, we're sponsoring everybody that is affected by him.
Just feels good to do stuff like that, help people.
During the years the Cartys have sponsored Manuel, they've come to know and love him. They receive letters and pictures, and the whole family gets involved in sending letters and pictures of their own.
It's candy.
We have a family of 6 boys, and we have 2 dogs, a cat, 2 frogs, a lizard, and a gecko. I play guitar, climb trees, and catch animals.
Got him. 1, 2, 3.
I hope you like this picture.
The connection can be powerful. child sponsorship brings two worlds, two families together.
Uno, dos, tres.
Looky here. Oh, look, there's Manuel.
Thank you, World Vision.
Sponsorship can bring hope where there is so little. You can help World Vision demonstrate God's love by meeting a child's physical and spiritual needs. Manuel knows that hope. Through years of letters and pictures, the Cardis have watched Manuel and his family grow up to be healthy and happy. They wanted that for more children.
We're at 9.
Today, the Cardis sponsor 9 children. Each of their sons has a special bond with a child in another place.
This is Johan from Malawi. This is Gachina from Haiti.
9 children from all around the world have a loving family in Tennessee.
Long Long. Where's Long Long?
Who has transformed their lives.
He's from China.
And given them hope through child sponsorship.
And please help all of our sponsored children.
The Cardis remember these children in prayer each evening.
For their water to be pure and for them to get all of the stuff they need and even more.
And with their financial gift every month.
A child is a blessing wherever it is. Wherever it is, a child is a blessing. There aren't qualifiers on that statement. And we believe they are.
Run.
If we hadn't been born here, if we were born in another place, it would just really give me encouragement to know that there was somebody somewhere around the world who thought, you know, I just want to help you a little bit.
With 6 growing boys, the Cardis watch their budget carefully. They say sponsoring so many children can be a sacrifice, but it's worth it.
It's kind of the eternal perspective, too, the value of these people compared to the value of more stuff. I can't say that we really miss the money because we do that first, and we just have our lifestyle adjusted, and it's not a hardship. We still do vacations, we camp. It's cute. With adding a child or two, it's not a huge lifestyle change for us, but it's a huge lifestyle change for those kids.
Mom, look at him. He's glad.
He is glad.
Why is he glad?
He's a happy boy. He has a good life.
For less than $1 a day, you too can give a child a good life. You can change the course of a child's life and help a little boy or girl reach their God-given potential. Each one is a blessing. Through World Vision sponsorship, you can make a difference in a child's life. And what a difference they will make in yours.
It's a really nice family.
I think it's so exciting to be able to make a difference, and that blesses me. It is a good feeling, it really is.
Hello, my name is Marilee Pierce Dunker, and I would like you to take a short trip with me. It is a journey that began over 50 years ago on the war-torn streets of Korea, where my father, Bob Pierce, was first confronted with the pain and suffering of hungry and dying children. His heart was broken with the things that break the heart of God, and he knew he had to do something about it. God used that broken heart to give birth to one of the most effective Christian relief and development organizations in the world. Today, World Vision sponsors over 2 million children and brings transformational development to the poorest of the poor in nearly 100 countries. But our job has just begun. Recently, I had the privilege of going to Africa, where I discovered that the sight of a hungry child struggling to survive still has the power to break a human heart. But for me, this was a journey of hope, because everywhere I went, I saw how World Vision is transforming the lives of the people that we serve. I also had the chance to meet one of my own sponsored children and discover for myself the difference that that tiny check that I write every month is making in the life of one very special little girl.
A new day in Zambia, Africa, brings a lengthy and familiar morning commute. Mary Cyan Kankuma begins the first of what will be many treks for water. No one in Mary's family or village can afford any type of well, so gathering water means long walks to the best option. And this is it. It's a little more than a mud puddle, which somehow supplies enough to support 6 families in the area, scoop by scoop, several times a day, every day. Mary and her neighbors patiently dip into the water source that they know could make their families sick with diarrhea, cholera, dysentery, or tapeworm. But it's the best Mary can do. She feels fortunate to have water at all. Drought is drying up her family's hope for food and income. Mary, her husband Robert, and their children work hard in their fields, trying to grow enough food to feed the family and make a modest living. But hard work isn't enough.
Are there many nights when your children go to bed hungry?
Yeah. 3 days.
3 days without a meal. They say hunger often keeps their oldest son from having the strength to go to school, the school for which they've sacrificed so much to pay. As a family who does not live in a World Vision-sponsored community, the Sayan-Kunkumas can only hope that puddle continues to provide drinking water, hope that enough rain will fall to grow food, and hope that their determination to send each of their 6 children to school may somehow become more than just a wish.
And you so want to turn and say, we'll help you. Let us help. Let us dig a water well. Let us send your kids to school. And the reality is we can't do it without help. We can't do it unless we can touch people's hearts and make them care and make them see that the need is so tremendous and the answer is so simple.
The Sayan-Kunkumas are just one family of many struggling to survive in an area dealing with drought and the devastating effects of AIDS. Across Africa, HIV is creating an unprecedented number of widows and orphans, like 1-month-old Lasti. His mother died just a week after he was born. Now his aunt, a widow herself, must figure out how to feed and clothe little Lasti along with her own children.
Personally, I would do anything to make sure that he grows up and has a future and a hope. And one day knows how much God loves him. And I think he's beautiful, just beautiful. Oh, sweet baby. Sweet baby, sweet baby.
Half a world away in America, it's easy to feel helpless. But it's even easier to make a world of difference in the life of a child, a family, and a community.
Oh.
And this is how.
Hi, Olivia. My name is Marilee, and I'm your sponsor. You are like my daughter, and I am so happy to meet you.
Olivia Sumunga is 10 years old. She's lived with her grandfather since losing both parents to AIDS when she was only 2. Her grandfather also cares for her siblings and cousins, 16 children altogether. Olivia is a hard-working little girl, up at dawn, helping the family with daily chores. She is used to a life without luxuries. But as a newly sponsored child, Olivia now has the opportunity to go to school. She gathers clean water from a well that World Vision helped build just steps behind her home. And best of all, Olivia has the hope that sponsorship brings.
How does it make you feel in your heart to know that now you are a sponsored child?
Says I'm very, very happy.
In another country, in another community, you can see how child sponsorship makes a lasting difference. This area of Kenya is home to one of World Vision's longest-running sponsorship programs. More than half the children in this school are sponsored. As sponsored children, they experience tangible expressions of God's love in their lives. Their school fees are paid. Uniforms and books are provided. They don't need to worry, as so many others do, about the next meal. Clean water flows from the center of villages, while the former water-gathering spots sit as muddy reminders of how things used to be, when the only source of life-giving water was often the cause of disease and death. Babies get the medical care and immunizations they need and deserve. Child sponsorship support allows World Vision to help community members learn to effectively raise livestock for milk and meat. Community training gardens teach agricultural skills for growing healthy crops. At a World Vision supported high school, shelves filled with school books in the library, lights in the classrooms, even the paint on the walls are visible benefits of having sponsored children in the school. When you sponsor a child, your demonstration of Christ's love touches the entire community.
I wish you a nice week.
Beatrice Seo has earned the position of leader of her classmates.
If we started from this side,
as a senior, she learns complicated chemistry equations that prepare her for college and for her ultimate dream of one day becoming a doctor. She's been sponsored since she was 7, and because of that has been able to stay in school.
When a girl is not in school, she's given out to be married. So I myself, I could have been married.
How young do you think you would have gotten married?
14.
In these villages, as in other World Vision projects around the world, sponsored girls are less likely to be forced into early marriages. Shanina Nicola is a World Vision worker in this part of Kenya. She teaches about women's issues and how all children, including girls, should be cherished for their potential. Shanina believes in the cause, in the community, and in the power of child sponsorship because she herself was a sponsored child.
Deep within me, I always felt I have something to give to World Vision because of what they did to my life and how they supported me.
Being a sponsored child gave Shanina the means and the determination to stay in school and believe in herself because someone else believed in her. That investment paid off. Shanina graduated from high school and college and is working on a master's degree. And she credits the love and commitment of her World Vision sponsors for giving her the chance to pursue her potential.
Though you've never seen this person, you feel, I have somebody else who cares for me.
Oh, thank you, Olivia.
The feelings of attachment, the rewards of relationship go both ways.
Precious Lord Jesus, I just ask you now to watch over my daughter, Olivia. It's very hard to leave her. But I leave her in such loving hands with her wonderful grandfather and all of her dear friends. And I know you will watch over her and keep her safe and help her, Lord God, to grow up strong and to serve you, Lord. Lord, I give her into your hands. And I thank you for the blessing that is Olivia.
There are so many Olivias out there. So many children who can't lift themselves above their circumstances without a boost from someone who cares.
Can I have a hug?
Child sponsorship helps a child get things such as needed health care, education, clean water, and nutrition. Most importantly, children learn about God's love and are exposed to Christian values. It's our hope that every sponsored child comes to know just how much God loves them. Such simple things, so simple to give, but life-changing for both child and sponsor.
Knowing that I can have this kind of input into her life is just one of the greatest gifts God's ever given me.
With your help, we can reach more communities, more families, more children. You can make a difference in the life of a child, and they in yours.
I'm the one who's going away blessed. I'm the one who has been blessed.
The miracle of World Vision sponsorship is that you can help children like Olivia and families like Roberts and Mary's to have it all. World Vision's community development approach ensures clean water, nutrition, medical care, and education, not only for the sponsored child, but for every member of the family, and the whole community benefits. Talk about a great investment. And I'll tell you the biggest dividend. It's the joy and the personal satisfaction you can feel as a World Vision sponsor, knowing that you are making this kind of a difference in a child's life. When my father began World Vision, he had no idea what God was going to do. He only knew that there were children who were suffering and dying, and he had to make a difference. Today there are still children in this world who are suffering and dying. But through World Vision, you can make a difference. You can change the life of a child, a family, and a community. And you can give a child a future and a hope.